All right, what do you think? Should we get this virtual meetup started?
Let's do it.
Okay, you're going to kick it off for us. We have Psychologic here and maybe Kid Astronaut joining him.
Hopefully. Okay, so this is a new collaboration between Psychologic, the producer, and Kid Astronaut, who we already know from past local 303s. But this is a brand new collaboration that was kind of released earlier this year, the Kenopsia EP. And so Psychologic, can you tell me kind of how this collaboration came to be? And John is just now joining, thankfully. So John, hi, we're talking about your project here. If you guys want to jump in and talk about this new collaboration.
Yeah, so it was the connection was made through Mona Magno. She runs Free Music for Free People and also her own label, Free People Records, which is what we released it on. So it was pretty much her idea that we worked together at the beginning.
All right. And yeah, I love this because it is out on Free People Records. We know Mona from, she's been in the CPR Performance Studio and has also done a ton of stuff around town. And I guess the music part of this, John, you were actually pulling weeds when you kind of came up with some of this new music. So tell me more about like writing the songs that were specifically for this collaboration.
Yeah, basically gardening is something I took up during quarantine. So I think it was just about the process of starting new life and getting rid of the old that really inspired it. I had the tracks, but I just like did not have any ideas for a long time. And then once I just like put my headphones in and started working, it was like a flood of lyrics. So.
And so did you already have the tracks from Psychologic and then it was just a matter of putting like one and one together to make this?
Yep. And then
Nice.
once I did my vocals, I think he did some production elements around it. But yeah, it was a pretty organic process, I would say, from getting the songs to me to completing them.
So this is kind of a total quarantine project. Like you guys didn't have to be in the studio together. You could be socially distanced and still create this brand new music. So Psychologic, when did you create these beats? Was it also in quarantine or were these kind of some older ones that you had sent over to John?
Well, so I started creating them. It was a quarantine thing for the most part. One of the projects, which was actually the title track, Kenopsia, I had started that project before, but it was just that sort of like that like eerie sort of sad feel that I was going for. And I knew that project was the embodiment of that. So I brought that one out. And then the other two tracks were completely from scratch specifically for this EP for John.
Well, and Kenopsia is kind of that feeling, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the feeling that an empty space or a space that is no longer in use brings. So kind of that melancholy kind of vibe. Was quarantine kind of an inspiration to do that, John, or was that just kind of how you're feeling pulling weeds anyways, and was it already there?
No, actually, Mona and Luke approached me with the title, and I had never heard that title before. But you know, obviously, it just kind of like worked out that we're also in a quarantine. That was kind of weird, but I was really inspired by like The Matrix, probably the second movie, like where they all go down to Zion. That was like a really big inspiration for me in thinking of a space that, you know, was occupied by a lot of people, but then there's that huge like dance party scene when they're all down, you know, in wherever they are in the under earth or something. So yeah, I don't know. It was a collection of like movies and just ideas and themes that all pulled it together.
All right, and you guys have mentioned working with Mona and with Free People Records. So tell me a little bit more about how she was involved in this project. Obviously, she brought you two together to work on this, but was she a part of anything else going into it, or did she kind of give you free reign?
She actually has some vocals on the third song, Void, as well. So she had input along the way in terms of like just like artistic direction and everything.
Awesome. We love Mona and we love Psychologic and we love Kid Astronaut. Really glad that you guys are a part of the local 303 this month. And I'm going to hand things over to Alicia for our next guest.
But wait, before they go, best Halloween costume, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Kid Astro.
Like what is the best costume I've ever worn?
Yeah.
Okay, I was a Power Ranger when I was 7 and I haven't worn a Halloween costume since then. I think that was my top. That was like the top one.
That's your mic drop. Yeah, I get it.
That was it.
How about you, Luke?
Well, one year, me and my brother made got a bunch of materials from Home Depot, and we made dead mouse heads. So we wore like suits and dead mouse heads. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'll get some ideas from everyone here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.